Hey there, fellow dog owners in Newton, New Jersey. If you're looking for a dog trainer, you've come to the right spot. We're going to break down everything you need to know to find that perfect professional for you and your furry best friend.
You know that picture-perfect life with your dog here in Newton, right? Strolling through the Springboard neighborhood, maybe heading past that beautiful historic courthouse on the square. It's what we all want. But let's be real, getting your dog to be that calm, happy companion, well, that takes a little bit of work.
And that's exactly where good training comes into play. It's really the foundation that unlocks all those amazing experiences you can have in our community.
So, what are we actually aiming for here? I'm talking about real-life stuff. Imagine walking down Spring Street without your arm being pulled out of its socket. Or your dog staying totally chill when things get a little hectic over by the Newton Green. Having them come back when you call on a local trail, that's huge. These are the kinds of goals that just make living here so much easier and way more fun for you, your dog, and your neighbors.
Okay, so before you even start looking for a trainer, it's super helpful to get a handle on the basics. Let's quickly go over the fundamentals so you know what you're looking for.
So the method you're going to hear about most, and for good reason, is positive reinforcement. Honestly, it's the gold standard today. The whole idea is simple. You reward the behaviors you want to see more of, whether that's with a treat, some praise, or a favorite toy. The best point? It's not just about teaching sit or stay. It actually builds this amazing, trusting bond with your dog. It works, and it's kind. So what does this training look like in practice? Well, you've basically got two main options. First, there are group classes. These are awesome for getting your dog used to being around other dogs and people, learning to focus with distractions. Plus, they're usually easier on the wallet. Then you have private sessions. These are totally personalized. The trainer creates a plan just for your dog and your specific challenges, which is perfect for working on issues like barking at home, right where the problem happens.
And it doesn't stop there. You'll also see things like day training, where your dog gets trained while you're at work, which is pretty cool, and board and train programs. Those are way more intensive, kind of like a doggy boot camp. Really, there's an option for just about any goal or schedule. Okay, now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about the most important part: how to actually choose a qualified professional to work with.
Okay, when you start your search, you're going to see a bunch of letters after trainers' names, like a whole alphabet soup. And trust me, these actually mean something. Certifications like CPDTKA or KPA-CTP tell you that the trainer has passed some tough exams and is dedicated to using modern, science-backed methods. If you're dealing with more serious stuff, a certification like a CBCCKA is what you might look for. Bottom line, these credentials aren't just for show. They signal a real commitment to their profession.
And this brings me to a really, really important point. Please, always, always choose a trainer who uses humane, force-free methods. Training should be about building your dog up, not scaring them. Any trainer who relies on fear, intimidation, or pain, just walk away. It can seriously damage your dog's trust, and honestly, it often makes behavior problems even worse. All right, let's bring it home and talk about some specifics for us here in Newton. Knowing the local rules and what's available is all part of being a great dog owner in our town. So, I know what you're probably thinking. What's all this going to cost? It's a fair question. Let's talk about what you should expect to budget for training right here in Newton. Here's a quick look at some typical costs in the Newton and Greater Sussex County area. As you can see, a 6-week group class is probably going to be in that couple $100 range. A one-on-one private lesson, you're looking at about $100, give or take. And those more intensive board and train programs, yeah, those are a much bigger investment. Just seeing these numbers can help you figure out what makes sense for your budget. Now for some quick but important local rules. Think of this as your Newton dog owner checklist. Number 1, your dog needs to be on a leash in all public spots. Number 2, make sure their rabies vaccination is current. And number 3, once they're over 7 months old, you've got to get them licensed with the town clerk each year. Pretty simple stuff, but it helps keep everyone safe and things running smoothly. So once you've learned these new skills, where can you go to practice? We've actually got some fantastic spots around here. The Newton Dog Park over at Memory Park is a great, safe place for some off-leash fun and recall practice. And for working on that loose-leash walking with real-world distractions, you can't beat places like Swartzwood State Park or the Pollenskill Valley Trail. So get out there and use them. Okay, we're almost there. This last part is all about empowering you. I'm going to give you a checklist of questions you should ask any trainer you're thinking about hiring. This will help you make a really confident decision.
Think of this as your interview cheat sheet. You're going to ask them about their main training philosophy,
and listen for positive reinforcement. Ask what credentials they have. Ask them, how are you going to customize this for my dog? A good trainer will love that question. You also want to know how they track progress, and of course what the total costs are. Oh, and here's a big one. If you're dealing with a behavior issue, ask if they're willing to work with your vet. That's a great sign.
Look, finding the right trainer is all about setting you and your dog up for a fantastic life together. It's the first step to having that confident, well-mannered companion you can take anywhere. Imagine enjoying everything Sussex County has to offer, from quiet nights at home to hikes on the trails, without any stress. With a little consistency and the right positive approach, you can absolutely get there.